Abundant Life students return to school today. How last month's tragic events are impacting staff and students alike.
And appointing a special prosecutor, the ongoing animal cruelty investigation into Ridgeland Farm.
Plus, wildfires continue to rage in California. What officials are doing to prevent looting. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
A deadly crash on the interstate near Beloit is backing up traffic.
The Department of Transportation says the crash happened just before noon today. A Rock County Highway Department plow truck was clearing snow on the shoulder of I-90. A semi-tractor trailer heading south hit the rear passenger side of the snowplow, causing the tractor trailer to jackknife and block all southbound interstate lanes. The driver of the semi died. The driver of the plow was not hurt.
Students at Abundant Life Christian School are returning to their classrooms today for the first time since last month's shooting.
And in doing so, revisiting the site of a traumatic event. Our Maddie Heimsch shows us where teaching and trauma intersect.
In a video sent to families ahead of today's return to school, ALCS Principal Doug Butler said staff had been trained to offer trauma-informed care to its students.
It will feel different. It will look different. It is different.
So what does that care actually look like, and how are children affected by crises in and outside of school?
Trauma sort of fundamentally alters children's brains.
Experts say trauma isn't in the event, but in the symptoms.
Kids may feel more apathetic. They may feel more sad, depressed. They may lose interest in things that are important to them.
And those symptoms can be prolonged, even if the traumatic event itself lasted only minutes.
It's going to take a while for them to reorient themselves to this new understanding or to integrate what's happened into the way that they view themselves.
But with the right supports, young brains can rebound from much of that damage.
There's some recent studies that have demonstrated that changes in the environment, positive changes in the environment, such as social enrichment and learning, can help modulate that.
According to the National Association of School Psychologists recovery guidelines, returning to school helps establish stability and is associated with less traumatic stress.
That predictability that children get from structure and routine helps increase feelings of control.
Those feelings can also be encouraged by staying active in hobbies.
So anything that can help them feel good, strong, smart, powerful, that's going to be really important.
And when it comes to time spent at home, the National Child Traumatic Stress Network says maintaining those routines, allowing children to process their feelings through play, and talking through the safety measures in place at home and school can help.
You know, today the goal is to help the kids get to school, get through the school day, feel safe, supported, validated, heard.
Reporting in Madison, I'm Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
Maddie, thank you. The Office of School Safety has a crisis response and recovery toolkit to support children and adults after a crisis. We have links to those resources right now on channel3000.com.
Madison police are reporting 2 incidents where strangers approached students and asked them to get into a vehicle. According to police, both incidents took place near Toki Middle School on the west side. The first happened Wednesday near Leland Drive at Balsam Road when a gray or silver sedan pulled over and offered students a ride. Now, the second took place same day near Gilbert Road at Dorset Drive when another sedan pulled over and motioned students to get inside. Police don't have any suspects at this time, but they will patrol the area more as a precaution. Power School, a popular cloud-based software for schools, announces it was hacked on December 28th. The company confirmed the records accessed were part of the student information system and relates to families and educators. Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction Communications Director says the department was aware of the data breach and that the breach occurred outside the control of the school districts.
The man charged in the New Lisbon triple homicide is in jail on a $5 million cash bond. Virgil Thu appeared in Juneau County Court at 2:30 today after New Lisbon police caught him yesterday in Elroy. He's charged with 3 counts of first-degree homicide, one of which has a domestic abuse modifier, 3 counts of hiding a corpse, and several other charges. Just hours before Thu's arraignment, family hosted the funeral for the suspect's late girlfriend, Elizabeth Kolba.
This was very bubbly and bright. Always had a smile and a hug. She brought joy to everybody around her. I tell everybody we lost an earth angel.
Officials also found 13-year-old Skyla Sorensen and a 12-year-old in the home. Family said Kolba and the 12-year-old had a mother-daughter relationship. Thu is expected back in court February 13th.
Now let's take a look at your first warn forecast. More snow on the way for the Madison region.
Alex has more on when we can expect it over the weekend.
Sure do. And speaking of looking more like January, just a tiny bit looking like January out here on the patio, I've got a dusting of snow, and that's what we were forecasting last night. But now we got to turn our attention from the snow that we still have out there right now on radar 3000. I don't want to dismiss this as folks are still driving about here in Dane County. We still have a few light snow showers east towards Cottage Grove, over towards Stoughton, over by Lake Mills. And as we plan the rest of our evening, just a couple of flurries. We're not expecting significant snow throughout tonight, and probably nothing more than just a few flurries. Not expecting any more dusting or anything more than that tonight. Some places just east of Madison over towards Watertown and Milwaukee, that's where that lined up. That's what we were saying it would. They got upwards of an inch. Unfortunately, we had that accident this morning. But as you were just saying, we have more snow on the way for Sunday. Looking at 1 to 2 inches of snow. And in Maine weather, we're going to track when does it start and when does it end. Back to you.
Thank you. A dramatic scene played out recently in the drive-thru of a Raising Cane's restaurant in Brookfield. Police tracked a stolen vehicle to that location. The driver tried to get away. That's what you can see, a squad car move in and pin the vehicle. Officers pulled out 2 teenage passengers, one of them a 16-year-old girl who had been reported missing from Milwaukee. Police tased the 21-year-old driver to get him under control. A 22-year-old man ran from the scene and was later arrested. The 2 men were treated for injuries and taken to the Waukesha County Jail.
A Dane County judge has appointed a special prosecutor to investigate animal cruelty allegations at Ridgeland Farms. The appointment follows years of documented cruelty at Ridgeland by both state and federal agencies, animal activist investigators, and former employee whistleblowers. Despite years of repeated violations, Ridgeland has never been held liable. Advocates say this is a rare opportunity for accountability at the facility.
It's been years where Ridgeland has been acting with impunity, hurting dogs, and we've just been trying to get the dog's day in court. And on October of last year, we finally had that. And I think the judge made the right decision. And so we're feeling very optimistic that this is the first step in getting these dogs home, getting these dogs to loving homes and outside of the horrendous conditions at Ridgeland.
Ridgeland is one of only 2 large breeders of dogs for experimentation in the U.S. The third such breeder, Envigo, was shuttered after federal agents seized dozens of dogs in need of immediate care and then levied the largest fine in the history of animal welfare violations.
At least 10 people are dead and more than 10,000 homes and other buildings have now been destroyed by those wildfires out in Los Angeles County.
About 153,000 people are under evacuation orders. Charlie DeMar has the latest from Altadena, California.
Firefighters in Los Angeles County attacked the raging wildfires by air Friday. More than 55 square miles have burned so far.
Everything I owned was gone.
In an effort to prevent looting, a curfew will be in effect this evening in areas affected by the Palisades and Eaton fires.
You cannot be in these affected areas. If you are subject to arrest.
National Guard troops are patrolling the mandatory evacuation zone here in Altadena, where the Eaton fire has reduced home after home to rubble. This is what so many people here in hard-hit Altadena, unfortunately, are going to be coming home to. People who we spoke to who've been trying to get back to their homes say they are now frustrated that looting is a problem.
It's mind-boggling because I can't get in, but then looters could get in.
David Resendez says he can't believe someone would stoop so low.
I would guarantee they're not from here because this community, Altadena, is a tight-knit community.
At the White House, President Biden received a briefing on the wildfire emergency response, a day after promising the federal government will cover firefighting costs for the next 6 months.
We've got to be prepared to pay for it. And when we do, we got to build back better than we did before.
And as crews attack the wildfires from the sky, officials are warning people not to fly drones. That's after one nicked the wing of a super scooper, grounding it Thursday.
Flying a drone in the fire traffic area is not only dangerous, but it's illegal.
LA County's fire chief saying the plane should be flying again by Monday, just in time for the next expected red flag event. Charlie DeMar, CBS News, Altadena, California.
And adding to the confusion, Los Angeles County's wireless emergency alert system sent out some incorrect messages. A team of specialists is working to fix the problem.
As residents in Southern California deal with unimaginable loss, about 17 million people are facing health risks from all that smoke. The area filled with thick smoke and ash is also drifting to neighboring communities beyond Los Angeles. Air quality advisories are in effect as exposure to wildfire smoke can be very dangerous.
Less than a month. My lungs weren't even better from the last time. I'm still coughing from the last fire.
There's that PM 2.5, the really small particles that we inhale that can cause inflammation, but there's also a lot of noxious gases and fumes in this wildfire smoke as well, and they both can be irritating to the lungs. The small particles actually can get taken up by the bloodstream. It can actually increase risk for cardiovascular disease, heart attacks, and strokes.
Other groups at high risk for health effects from wildfire smoke include people with respiratory issues, children, the elderly, and pregnant women.
Governor Tony Evers announces the State Building Commission has approved some critical UW projects. $29 million is heading to the expansion for UW-Madison's engineering building, while more than $10 million is going to renovations of Winter Hall at UW-Whitewater, and nearly $5.5 million will help complete Heritage Hall at UW-Stout. The commission's approval comes as Republican lawmakers delayed reallocating over $70 million last month.
This weekend, Mount Horeb High School hosting its annual FFA Alumni Toy Show, the 32nd year for the event. Over 145 vendors will show off their goods to locals on Sunday. On top of the toy show, there will also be a kids pedal tractor pull. All proceeds for the event go towards future Farmers of America scholarships and also sending FFA students to Washington's Leadership Conference.
FFA is not necessarily about just straight up dairy farming or beef farming or some kind of production like that. It covers vet tech and horticulture as well. So the impact of ag is greater than a lot of people can foresee it as.
Now, the toy show runs from 8:30 to 2:30 on Sunday at Mount Horeb High School. Admission is $3. Children 12 and under get in for free.
Kohl's announced today it will be closing 27 underperforming stores in 15 states by April, but none of those stores are in Wisconsin. The announcement comes as the Menominee Falls-based chain tries to boost profitability and improve sagging sales. The stores closing are just a fraction of Kohl's 1,150 stores.
When we come back, Alex tells us about colder weather to come next week.
Plus, good news for the job market, why the Labor Department is pleasantly surprised by the new figures.
But a very rough end of the week on Wall Street. The Dow tumbling some 697 points. The Nasdaq down 317. S&P loses 91. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
December turned up the heat on the jobs market.
With the economy adding far more jobs than expected last month, the latest report from the Department of Labor shows the economy added a whopping 256,000 jobs last month. That beats expectations, and the unemployment rate ticked down to 4.1%. Moody's chief economist Mark Zandi says the strong labor market is continuing into the new year, even with adjusting for those seasonal retail hires and other volatility.
The underlying rate of monthly job growth is probably around 150,000, 175,000 per month. Still really good, enough to keep unemployment low, but not too much to generate a lot of inflation. So right down the strike zone.
But it was a strikeout for many brick and mortar stores. According to CoreSite research, U.S. retailers shuttered more than 7,300 stores in 2024. That's the most since 2020.
Well, we are just 10 days into 2025, and experts say it's about the time that many give up on their New Year's resolutions. In fact, some have dubbed this Quitter's Day. But if your goal is to be healthier, don't stop now. Health experts say one reason people tend to quit this time of the year is that they set unrealistic goals and then quickly burn out. The first step to beating Quitter's Day is to set the right goals.
What we call SMART goals. So SMART is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time-based. So we're being really specific, like I want to have one serving of fruit every day for the next 10 days, or at least twice in the next week.
Well, next, prepare and plan. If you don't have time to have everything cooked, just have an idea of what you're going to eat and have it available. Third, be balanced and flexible. Also, write down your goals and keep track of the progress. That'll increase the likelihood of achieving it. And finally, celebrate small wins, like avoiding giant bags of cookies.
And that big scoop of ice cream. Now to the forecast. We're keeping an eye on some snow heading our way this weekend.
Yes, indeed. One snow moved out. That verified. We got that dusting of snow. Here comes snow number 2 coming in Saturday night, going on into Sunday. Could be impactful enough that driving conditions on Sunday might be a bit of a slow go. So let's explain here. Have some caution on Sunday. Timing here is 12 a.m. to about 6 p.m. on Sunday. Thinking about 1, maybe 2 inches of snow across southern Wisconsin. We can track it. Let's start. 12 o'clock Sunday morning. We got strong winds, snow, widespread across all of southern Wisconsin. This isn't going to be a heavy snow. This will be light, occasionally moderate at times. As we move towards the 6 o'clock hour, we might be heading towards church, or maybe thinking about getting up to going for brunch, something to that effect. We'll have snow across much of southern Wisconsin. As we go into the afternoon, the snow scoots off towards the north and towards the east, ending by the time we get to 6 o'clock on Sunday evening. Overall amounts, they keep going down and down and down a little bit. I don't expect them to go down too much further than this, but an inch, it's possible that maybe we get an inch or two just north and east of Madison, up 151, but 1-2 inches. That's what we're looking at right now with this weather system, but just enough to make it look a little bit more like January outside. Now, speaking of January outside right now, radar 3000, not a lot of flurry activity on the western part of Dane County, more in the way of flurry activity going down 39 down towards Stoughton, heading down towards the Janesville area. A little bit heavier in the way of snow just north of 18 Jefferson, Johnson Creek up towards Watertown, over towards Economawalk. Still a couple of light snow showers if you have any travel plans in that direction. Then going up 14 up towards Viroqua, Richland Center, a couple of snow showers also over towards Boscobel and Fenimore. Not expecting in the way of a significant accumulation, but just some brief reductions in visibility, and we could still have a slick spot or two. In Future Track for tonight, just showing intermittent flurries for the rest of this evening. Right now it's 29 in Madison. The wind out there, 3 miles per hour, so the wind chill is 29. It's actually really quite nice. Normal highs are right around 27 degrees. So let's plan that evening, 6 o'clock, 26. Susan, Eric, I will try to get that walk in between 6 and 8 o'clock, but I'll be keeping an eye on the sidewalk as I am walking to not slip. As we go into 8 o'clock, 24, joining us for 10 o'clock, we'll be at 22 degrees as skies start to clear out a little bit. Then the clouds start to increase as we go into Saturday out ahead of that Clipper system, with temperatures approaching near 30 degrees. And following the Clipper system, look at Monday and Tuesday. 0 degree to start off Tuesday. Breezy enough, we could be looking at wind chills approaching 20 below. But look how much we make modifications and warm up by the end of the week before another cool down hey, let's take a look. Exactly 1 year ago, right now, we were dealing with those two back-to-back snowstorms where we had nearly 20 inches of snow. So nothing like that in our near future, nothing like that in the next 10 days. But I wanted to give us a flashback here on Friday to where we were at just 1 year ago. Right now on the Beltline with the snow shower activity we've had today, things are looking pretty good eastbound and westbound at 50 to 60 miles per hour. And we still have that incident southbound as you head down towards Beloit, but the overall clip is pretty good at 70 miles per hour. And the clip is decent going northwest towards the Dells at 72. Just a heads up, 48 hours from now, take it easy on the roads on Sunday.
Somehow I've completely blocked out any memory of that snowstorm from 1 year. I have no recollection. Still to come, displaying the technology of the future, what new inventions were shown off at this year's CES showcase in Las Vegas.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
It is Tech's big January showcase. CES returned to the Las Vegas Strip this week.
Karen Kaifa has more from the show floor in Las Vegas on the futuristic solutions to everyday life.
The new year brought all things new in tech to Las Vegas this week. CES 2025 coming to a close Friday after a showcase of robots.
It sounds like you're describing something interesting. Could you tell me more about it?
Like Enchanted Tool's social robot, a possible helper in hospitality and healthcare.
Technology can be more than useful. Technology can bring smile.
And Roborock's robot vacuum with a grabby arm that will pick socks up off the floor. And the Nekajita Fufu, which sits on a cup, blows air, and cools a steaming drink. For those sensitive not to heat but to salt, Kieran's electric salt spoon sends an electric current to the tongue to give low-sodium foods more flavor. And at the heart of many featured devices, AI, assisting the brisket grill with recipes and perfect cooking temperatures.
The food that comes off the grill will be delicious and great to eat.
Powering Wonder's nature camera Petal, identifying flowers and insects in home gardens.
Almost think of it as chatting with nature, right?
And in Bosch's Revel Crib, keeping tabs on a baby's vital signs and rocking a child who can't sleep. Many products on the floor aren't on the market yet, and that's why Bridget Carey, editor-at-large for CNET, says CES gives that glimpse into what the future could look like.
This is really a place where you see where the big pitches for the future. It never is the kind of thing that you see in a store tomorrow.
So drivers not quite ready for a solar-powered vehicle like Aptera's EV still have some time.
And Alex returns with a final check of the weekend forecast when we come back.
And Alex is back, so we take one final check of the weekend forecast.
Well, if you want to do something outdoors this weekend, well, you can do it on Sunday too, but if you want to enjoy the better half of the weekend, that's going to be Saturday, 28. I'll be in Arena, Grandma Harrington's, walking the roads out there for sure.
That's
28.
great.
Gorgeous day. Sunday, not so gorgeous, 32. But if you want the snow, I guess you could call that gorgeous. 1 to 2 inches of snow across southern Wisconsin. Better chances for those 2 inches of snow will be towards the north and towards the east. Juneau, Adams, Marquette, Green Lake counties, and areas up towards Fond du Lac and Green Bay. It's a clipper-like system that'll be here from 12 o'clock in the morning till about 6 o'clock on Sunday night. Following that clipper-like system, look at Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures barely getting above 10. Could have some cold wind chills, but we'll be up to 35.
I feel like 75.
Yeah, exactly, by the end of the week.
All right, we're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. Stay tuned now for the CBS Evening News.